What is up, Wicked Turtle Nation? We just wanted to let you guys know that Wicked Turtle Network has decided to join the Raise Rebellion as brand ambassadors for Raise Energy Drink. Raise Energy gives you fresh, and that stands for focus, recovery, energy, stamina, and hydration. With zero sugar, absolutely no crash, electrolytes, and BCAA aminos. I encourage everyone listening or watching right now to raise up and join the Raise Rebellion yourself by going to your local GNC, vitamin shop, or even online at repsports.com. And order yourself some Raise Energy drinks or other athletic supplements in bulk. And when checking out, use the order code WICKEDTURTLE for a 15% discount. The website and order code will be in the description of this cast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Duke's Dive. I know it's been a while. I've been going through some health stuff. Long-time listeners to both the Dive and Wicked Turtle will know what I'm talking about. And I'll divulge a little bit more when the Penguin and I get back to recording as of tomorrow evening, which will be Monday. We'll record an episode of What's Up, Peeps. We're going to do DC Wonder Pets, or Super Pets, and the new Top Gun movie. So when that comes out, there'll be a little bit more in-depth on there, nothing too serious. But until then, I want you to go down to Wicked Turtle's Facebook and their YouTube page. The Penguin has been pumping out content, awesome stuff. He's got some food reviews, he's got movie reviews. He's put several episodes of What's Up Peeps out, several different snack reviews and a drink review, some stuff with the little guy. So I encourage you to check that out. Go to Wicked Turtle's Facebook and YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook or YouTube, both. So and if you're audio listeners, we're on the all the regular audio platforms, audio, Spotify, you know what I mean, Anchor, all that stuff. So check out Wicked Turtle stuff. And speaking of that, before I get into anything, I have some bullet points, and of course I have some matches from this week that I'd like to bring up to the attention of you, the listening audience, and tell you that, let you know about the matches I enjoyed from the last week. So let me just go ahead and say, first and foremost, before I start anything, I want to mention JD's Binghamton Wrestling Convention. Team JD and Mac Productions are going to bring an awesome wrestling convention to the people of Binghamton, New York, at the Bulldog Sports Complex. Northern Tier Wrestling, Rope to Rope, Excite, they're all going to be under the same umbrella this evening. Unheard of in the Northeast, these guys working together, so it's a big evening. And along with that big evening comes a big roster of names. It's going to be one heck of a wrestling convention. Let me go ahead and first of all tell you the who, what, when, where, and why. Team JD and Mac Productions, Northern Tier, Rope to Rope, Excite Wrestling. There's going to be a wrestling convention at the Bulldog Sports Complex, 1075 Robinson Hill Road, Johnson City, New York. The doors open at 5:30. The bell time is at 6. Now, I'm sure that I don't know if the actual convention has different hours, but that's all very readily available on all the social media of JD, Team JD, JD Davis, Rope to Rope. That's easily accessible to you. If you go to any of those sources and go through your timeline, or even just message directly, you'll be able to find that information out. But from what I'm understanding, the doors open at 5:30 and the bell is at 6. The front row is $60. The second row is $40. The third row is $30. The general admission seats are $15. get your seats now. They are selling out fast. JD has several different things that he's doing with tickets with this convention. You have an opportunity at several different opportunities to become part of the show. You could be a guest timekeeper, you could be a guest commentator. There's several different things that you can do. There's raffles to become a guest of the show, in the show. You know what I mean? Be a part of the show, be a part of history of that night for the Northeast wrestling history as it is there. And yeah, so definitely get into that. And I want to let you know some of the names that are going to come up there and be a part of this awesome event. Some athletes like Caprice Coleman, Bull James, JTG, Nunzio, Black Cheese, Julia Hart, Brian Pillman Jr., Arn Anderson, Dango, Brock Anderson, Tommy Dreamer, Tito Santana, TJ Epics, Robbie Vegas, HC Loke, Alpha Jr., Justin Credible, Rob Sweet, Tony Toxic. That's just who they have announced. That's not even everybody. I'm sure that JD has a few tricks up his sleeve between now and October 15th. He's going to have some surprises for you guys, I'm sure. Caprice Coleman was a newer one that was just announced. He's going to be in action in a 3-way for the the Rope to Rope television title, the most prestigious title in Rope to Rope. Black G's in action. JTG, I'm not sure. I'm sure he is. Nunzio, Brian Pillman Jr. is definitely going to be in action. Brock Anderson's definitely going to be in action that night. You're not going to want to miss the Binghamton Wrestling Convention and Wrestling Show. You can get your tickets at Bing Wrestling, that's BINGWRESTLING, BingWrestlingCon.ticketleap.com, BINGWRESTLING.ticketleap.com, or www.imwithdavis.com. Or you could go on their Facebook, like I said, Team JD. I'm sure their Twitter's active, the Instagram, all over social media. You gotta go on the interwebs, figure it out, get your tickets. Make sure you got a spot there now before all that stuff sells out and you're on the outside looking in. So like I said, yes, October 15th, that's going to be a great day. Hoping to go down there and to represent the Duke's Dive, Wicked Turtle, and Smart Mark Alley. So 3 different little podcasts. Just chugging along here in the Northeast area. And we're going to be representing up there in the Binghamton Wrestling Convention for sure. Hopefully that is. If everything goes well, and if it should anyways. So thank you for that, and we'll move on to the next topic. A lot has happened since I talked to you last. One of the main things I'd have to say was Vince stepping down. I'm not gonna, get into the I'm not going to get into too much about that, other than to say that man has put out an extremely vast body of work, and the amount of time I've been alive as a commentator, an on-screen talent, a wrestler, general manager, man behind the screen, man behind the curtain, jack of all trades. So, yeah, I mean, some good choices, some bad choices, whatever, but, when all's said and done, I hope to have accomplished at least a quarter of what Vince McMahon has done in the business. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, you know, it's a vast body of work. I mean, go back decades. That's not even saying anything. So, with that being said, Vince steps down. Triple H and crew, Road Dogg Jesse James anyway, I do believe, and Shawn Michaels, I'm sure a couple other guys that were under the team of the Black and Gold era NXT are now full charge with the WWE product, and over the past couple of weeks, in my estimation anyways, in my opinion anyways, Raw's, that's all been well worth watching. I mean, there's nothing I skip out on. I watch pretty much everything Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all of that. I don't skip out. I make sure to watch it now. I mean, it's been pretty decent. I'm not saying I like every single thing that goes on during that. There's plenty of stuff I don't like, just like there's plenty of stuff with AEW I don't like. There's really the only thing that goes on where I'm pretty much content with everything is Impact, and long-time viewers will know I'm an Impact head for sure, so that's not saying much, you know. But yeah, I mean that's a hell of a thing worth mentioning, that the last time we spoke that Vince McMahon was in power the last time we spoke, and now that, you know, I mean, some allegations have come forward, different things like that, and one bim, one bam, one bim bam. At the end of the day, you know, Vince McMahon steps down, Triple H and crew step up, and it's been pretty damn good so far. And if nothing else, it's bred for some very interesting week-to-week wrestling war-related stuff, and that we'll get into a incident that happened at AEW at the All Out event. After the show, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it takes several finishes of the AEW All Out pay-per-view and makes them null and void. There was a scrum incident where CM Punk had called out many individuals from the backstage, you know, and real or fake, whatever. I'm not here to speculate on that. The last thing this incident needs is another chubby, white, almost middle-aged white dude giving his take on this, with a podcast giving his take on this. So, yeah, I mean, if it, real or, like I said, real or fake, whatever, the whole thing come down to CM Punk got pissed off that there was some bogus, to his he says bogus news articles going around about him getting Colt Cabana demoted or lowered down to, or removed, or side switched down over to Ring of Honor, and it just wasn't true. So my whole thing was I very rarely give time of day to dirt sheets, not because I'm above that or anything. It's just you know what I mean. If I'm going to report on something, I make sure it's 100% accurate. And you know, just like Punk said, if you have any kind of journalistic integrity, even if it's for professional wrestling, you know, take it seriously. You know, that's why I've always went by. Like I said, the dive. I've never got into the I need to be a megaphone for this up-to-date news. You know, if you're going to find that information out one way or the other. It doesn't need to be from me. There's many other outlets. I'm not going to be a parrot of this one, you know what I mean? A big trickle down on the Brian Alvarez's and Dave Meltzer's and everything else just trickle down to literally every wrestling outlet there is on social media, and that's just, what the dirt sheets are. But anyway, like I said, I digress. Whether that's real or fake, I'm not going to feed into what the whole point of the story, in my opinion, is. Bogus reporting, reporting things that aren't true, or end up just one side of the story, or different things like that. Like I said, not to say I'm some kind of 10-star journalist or anything like that. I'm gonna have an award show called the Dookies at the end of the year. I take it very seriously. So, anyways, this scrum incident, this call out, led to a big backstage brawl. Individuals including Ace Steel, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks. They have all since been suspended. CM Punk was actually injured at some point in the match, and I'm assuming that's why he hadn't officially been given a suspension. Some say he's on the way out the door. Like I said, that's bogus. Nothing confirmed, but they have been removed off of the advertising going forward for now, at least, anyway. And if they're not going to be on TV for several weeks to several months, it's not really hard to understand why they wouldn't put them front and center in the advertising in the opening advertising for these shows, knowing that they're not going to be there for at least X amount of period. Depending on whether they're locked down to these contracts, they may or may not pop up elsewhere. But I'm sure that suspension means suspended from performing there, and I don't know. But it's wrestling and anything can happen, so I'm just expecting these guys to pop up anywhere, So, I have no clue. Nobody really does, other than the people involved. And as of recording this, it's Sunday evening, very late in Sunday evening. But I will find out if a new episode of Being the Elite is uploaded tomorrow, and if anything is mentioned or talked about. Maybe they've at times gotten down and sat down serious on BT and addressed things that needed addressed the elephant in the room, so to speak. Maybe they do that. Maybe they just... I don't think it's something they can just sweep under the rug. Who knows? I don't know. But like I said, just with the whole Vince step down, Triple H steps up situation, it leaves for some pretty interesting and entertaining television and social media watching. And another thing to make mention of, and that is going into the notes and matches section of the show here. NXT and NXT UK have become one brand. The titles have been unified together as of now. And NXT, the performers there are going to be, or most of them, some of them have parted ways from the company, but those who are left over are now just mostly part of the NXT, just NXT universe. We had a Clash at the Castle, Worlds Collide event, and awesome stuff. And there is going to be a WWE Europe. I'm not sure what all that entails. I'm sure that information is out there, but I can't wait to see what that's going to entail and how that is going to look, honestly. So that is definitely some stuff that is worth looking forward to in my book. But let's get into some matches. Excuse me. Some matches that I enjoyed this week, over the past week, and there are several. So, you know, if you listened before the time break here, you would know that I have pretty much stopped doing reviews, the ups and the downs. I'm not a Simon Miller copycat. Try not to be anyway, but the formula is all over the place. I kind of go into an identity crisis. So this episode, I'm just going to give you some matches that I found to be exceptional over the past week. Really, really good matches. Match of the year contenders for sure, some of them. Go over that, and a lot of this is, like I said, Clash at the Castle, Worlds Collide, All Out, and then the fallout from all that as well. So let me get into that, and Impact as well. I can't leave that out. I have a lot of Impact matches and moments over the past week to elaborate upon, and I will. On the first one, Masha Slamovich defeats Diana Purrazzo. Kenny King defeats Speedball Mike Bailey for the X Division title. This was on the September, I think, 3rd or 1st episode of Impact. Excuse me. And then on the AEW Dark of that week, August 30th, Claudio Castagnoli defended his Ring of Honor title, heavyweight title, against Daivari, which was a very good match. Then Clash at the Castle happened. Gunther defeated Sheamus in an incredible Intercontinental title match. Seth Rollins defeated Matt Riddle, and WWE Raw is going to be taking place live at the Poconos, in the Poconos, in the Scranton area, November 26th. And the only match that, as of right now, they have mentioned, they've mentioned several superstars going to be there, but the only match that they have announced thus far is Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. But I'm hoping and praying that they keep them separated and no more matches between now and then, because that would be awesome if that was the next time those guys scrapped, was at a show I'm going to be at, hopefully. So that would be pretty awesome to see their next encounter live, But I just don't feel like it'd have the same shine if you went ahead and squared those guys off 10 times between now and then, you feel me? So if you just keep it to, wow, that's the next time those guys scrapped. I can't wait. I cannot wait until that happens. As the people who watch, and definitely can't wait, especially, you edge that off. And, boy, what a special treat for the people at, in Scranton that night. Then Roman Reigns did defeat and retain his title against Drew McIntyre to end Clash at the Castle. And to start off NXT Worlds Collide, Carmelo Hayes retained his North American title by defeating Ricochet. Mandy Rose extends her legendary NXT journey and title reign as she defeated Blair Davenport and Miko Satomura. And Braun Breaker is cementing his legacy as he defeated Tyler Bate and unified the NXT UK heavyweight title with the NXT American heavyweight title, and also the NXT tag team titles were unified that night. I'm sure it's Pretty Deadly who are the title holders. But we move on here. We move on to All Out on the kickoff show. Wow, the kickoff show was fire. First of all, Pac defeats Kip Sabian to retain the North Atlantic title. Love this. I love that title on Pac. It fits him well. Excuse me. Going back to when he was, with WWE in the cruiserweights, the 205 Live, I thought he was having incredible matches there. You can go back on that, and soon here, the coach and I are going to have a long, in-depth NXT coverage, but I think we're also going to have to strip and separate 205 Live, the Cruiserweight Classic, and have that be an episode as well. And of course, when you're talking about that, Pac, Adrian Neville will be mentioned many, 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 many times, as he was the title champion many times as well as there. So he's just one of my favorites, and I'm glad to see a belt on him. Not that it really matters with a belt. That's a whole nother podcast. I could go on hours on that one. But the secondary match in the kickoff show was Eddie Kingston defeated Tomohiro Ishii. Oh man, what a slugfest that was. Love to see that. Rest up, Eddie Kingston is definitely sick with sick with COVID. Not sure if he's going to miss anything, but I know that is the case as of right now. So I just wanted to say, rest up, take it easy, get back and fight when you can. We opened it up. Chris Jericho defeated Bryan Danielson, and later on in the evening we'll find out that this match did become a number one, the first match in a number one contender tournament bracket. So this match would then become, like I said, the first round tournament, and Chris Jericho automatically then moves on in this tournament. And I will get to that by the main event of All Out, and you'll understand a little bit more there. The same can be said for this match coming up, which is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks defeating Hangman Page, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds to become the AEW Trios champions. Now, with the fight that happened, this is what I'm getting at with the heavyweight title. The champions from both the Trios tournament and the heavyweight championship had been stripped of them guys, and suspensions were handed out, so those guys are not going to be on TV for a little while. So those titles had to, they didn't want to do an interim again, so those were just put right back on the line. The Trios titles were put right back on the line and defended and held now by another team. The heavyweight was put on as a tournament, and we'll get to the winners of that and the results of that momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. As we move into the main event, CM Punk did defeat Jon Moxley and become the AEW Heavyweight Champion. Now, like I said, the scrum incident, the scrap afterwards, these titles were vacated. The first bracket, Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho. Bryan Danielson was defeated. Chris Jericho moves on. And next week on Dynamite opens up with Daniel Garcia defeating Wheeler Yuta for the ROH Pure title. Very awesome entrance for the hometown kid there of Buffalo, New York, Daniel Garcia. Awesome to see it happen. He going through an identity crisis there with the whole sports entertainer wrestling thing. Maybe looking to see him move on to be in the Blackpool Combat Club group. Maybe even have Chris Jericho take him on for the ROH Pure title, especially with the Lionheart Chris Jericho rearing his head many times through this current run. It could be awesome to see him and take on for that title. The next match we seen was another bracket in the heavyweight tournament, was Bryan Danielson getting a second chance against Hangman Adam Page, and he did defeat Hangman Adam Page, and he'll move on, and he will now face Chris Jericho in the next round of the tournament for the heavyweight title. Death Triangle defeated Best Friends to become the Trios champions, making Pac the first ever double champion, as he's the North Atlantic champion. But like I said, it was great to see these guys finally get some recognition in AEW. I see that they usually get a lot of wins on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, but when it comes to Dynamite and Rampage, it's a different story. So it's good to see these guys finally get a little victory, get a little gold around their waist, especially Pac, like I said, one of the best in my opinion in the world, now holding two. Move on to a little bit more Impact action here to close us out. Kenny King defending his X Division title against and beating Yuya Uemura. Awesome. I'm watching out for Yuya Uemura. One of the standouts that I've been seeing through, Strong when I do watch it, and Impact. Aussie Open defeats Chris Bay and Ace Austin of the Bullet Club. And Claudio Castagnoli then on Rampage, or the last Friday of that week, took on and defeated Dax Harwood, put on his ROH heavyweight title on the line. Awesome run so far with that title. You definitely can't be disappointed in what he's done with that Ring of Honor title. Can't wait to see those guys get on TV. I definitely don't want to see Ring of Honor become the third AEW Dark for sure. I definitely can't wait to see those guys get back on TV and have their stuff be defended and represented under their actual umbrella the way it should be. And I'm sure that'll happen relatively soon. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got this week. I'll catch you up next week. Like I said, follow Wicked Turtle. Go over there to Smart Mark Alley. Check everything out. Follow what's going on. See where we're going to be at. Maybe we'll come up your way to a wrestling show. Got some stuff in October. Definitely look into the Binghamton Wrestling Convention, www.imwithdavis.com. Get your tickets now. They're going out fast. And stay wicked. Thanks for listening to the Duke's Dive.